Welcome back to Stampers Clubhouse. Today we are going to be making another wow card. One of the cards that we make each month is wow card. One of the classes I have each month are wow card classes, and we make 3 wow cards. The information on my classes can be found on my blog at www.stampersclub.com if you'd like to join us sometime. Right now this card was made with the Nature's Walk stamp set. Love that stamp set. It's absolutely stunning. And there's quite a few little elements going on this one. We're going to start by making this card with a perfect plum, a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11, so it's 8.5 by 5.5. Then I'm going to fold in half and use my bone folder to get a nice crisp crease. Then I'm going to emboss the next one. And that one is used with the tulip frame embossing folder. And I get a lot of people that ask me, how do I get this centered? Well, here, let me tell you. At the front of the embossing folders is the labels, the Stampin' Up! Logo and the Sizzix label. And that's the front. That's the part that's going to be bumped up. So it's the embossed side. And I actually tried it, instead of opening it up and laying it like this, so you're not really sure where this is going to end up, I like to hold my paper on the front of it. And then I can see right through it, and I can see exactly where my paper is going to be embossed at. So I can get this one with this nice frame around the edge of it. And then I just kind of pinch it closed, and that way my paper's held in there. Put it between my 2 plates in my Big Shot with tab 1 open, and I run it through. So that's how I can get the embossed part still to be centered on the page, is by doing it where I'm looking at the label on the front. So with that, I ended up putting this one down first. And this is in soft suede cardstock too, by the way. Put that down. Then I used my soft suede taffeta ribbon. And I went all the way around my card. And I made a bow over here. And I know so many people don't like it when I make bows, but I just love our ribbon. It just has so much texture to it. So, and this is just like tying your shoes. Make loop, go around, push another loop up through the back, and pull it tight. Not a whole lot of special stuff going on here with the bow. It's just a bow, just like you do tie your shoes. You could do the double bunny ears if that's more the way that you tie your bows. That works too. You can do it that way. On the tails, bring my tails down a little bit here. And this is going to end up way over here at the edge. Take my ribbon scissors, clip those off, make them the right size. Then on top of that, I have a piece of Blush Blossom cardstock. This is one of the in colors that will soon be retiring, and I embossed that with the Stripes embossing folder. Many of you probably got that folder during Celebration for free, but it's just the Stripes embossing folder. So I embossed that. This I'm actually going to put up on some dimensionals. I also cut it out with one of those framelits that we've been using so much of lately. They come in a set so that there is a whole bunch of nesting shapes. So we get all these shapes. They all just kind of nest down into one another. Those are the labels collection. Get off my dimensionals here. I got that one off already. And I'm just going to kind of tuck that down underneath that ribbon. I think it needs to be slid over just a little bit more and down a little bit, I think, too. Let's kind of add that element to the front of my card there. My bow over there. I'm not sure I'm straight there. Let's twist that around a little bit. There we go. That's straight. Yeah. Then I took another embosslet, the next layer down, with some Very Vanilla, and I cut that out. And with my Nature's Walk stamp set, I'm going to stamp up this really pretty little bird cage element here. And I'm just going to kind of put it off to the edge here with crumb cake and stamp it down. And another one of the elements is just almost like a like signing your painting with which series. And so this is just another one of those little fun little elements that I'm just going to tap across. It says number 147. So apparently we've made 147 of those. And this is with the soft suede. And that I'm also going to put up on dimensionals. Okay. This card has lots and lots of depth. I don't know that I would put this one in the mail, but usually my wow cards, I like to give those to people so that I can actually see how much they enjoy them. You could put it in an envelope, but it's going to end up being a little bit thicker on this one. Then just on a scrap piece of paper with some early espresso ink, I took the bird image out of that on just some scrap Very Vanilla paper and stamped my bird. And I'm going to do something I don't do very often, but I'm going to use my chalks, the Stampin' Pastels, and a sponge dauber. And I'm going to grab some So Saffron ink, and I am just going to cover the top part of the bird here. And I'm just coloring it just by putting the chalk right onto the paper. Grab a different one with the Perfect Plum, and I'm going to color his belly a little bit here. Blow that off. And I know it looks kind of messy, but that's all we need. And we're just going to need some color. We need to get some So Saffron, or some So Saffron back over there. Didn't have quite enough. Wasn't happy with that. With the chalks, we get all 40 colors of our color collections. And you can also use blender pens on these. It's another really cool way to color too. Get a little bit different depth. Comes with some sponges, so you can actually have some sponges if you don't want to use the sponge daubers. It also comes with an eraser, so that's a nice collection of colors. It's a good way to get all the colors in one spot and have lots of choices for coloring. And again, I did some cutting, and I just kind of went around my bird here. I did leave a little bit of space around his body, so I had a little bit of white space. But this one I did trim fairly close because I just had that kind of messy from the sponging, because I just wanted to kind of like get color. You don't have to seal this in any way. It will rub, but it's pretty much rubbed right into the paper, so it's pretty permanent there. Get his tail cut off there. I didn't use as much of an edge as I normally would do because I have the color that goes all the way across the whole paper. Get his little foot going on here. And I just kind of found the center of where his legs kind of match here, and kind of went along one of the kind of the toes, I guess I would call it, and slit right up in there to get in between his legs. Probably don't really need to do this, but I did, and it looks kind of cool to have it there. And nice little point of these cute little paper snips that I just absolutely love from Stampin' Up. Makes it so that his feet are still connected. Okay. And that I also used a couple of dimensionals. And laid that right over the top of my bird cage there. Then I added a really nice little element here. I used some flowers from the Boho Blossoms punch, and I grabbed my piercing mat and my piercing tool, and to get some lift in these, I took the end, not the pointy end, just the handle part of it, and I pushed those down in to get some depth on my, if I lean it a little bit sideways, I kind of even get them a little bit more pointed. I want these to be somewhat abused so that we end up having some more texture with what I'm going to be doing here next. I'm going to grab one of our new hat pins, here, and I'm going to take some liquid glue, and I'm just going to run it just along the top edge here. I just want a little bit along this top edge right here, because I want these to stay on there without having them come apart. And I'm going to put on a pink one, and I'm just going to poke this right in the middle. Poke it right in the middle. A pink one, and I'm going to slide that all the way up to the top. Then I'm going to add a very vanilla, a perfect plum, a very vanilla, and a perfect plum. And these are going to get slid all the way to the top also. Get them pushed on there. And what I wanted that glue on there for is I want to pull these apart a little bit so that they're not actually stacked on top of one another. And that little bit of glue that's on there is going to kind of keep them separated. And feel free to kind of mush them up, make them so that they're not so perfect. Layer them a little bit there so that they're kind of stacked, but they're kind of separated a little bit. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right through the center of this bow. Just kind of like put it right down on that card right there. And look, this beautiful little element with this pin, the little flowers on it that match everything. Isn't that a soft, pretty card? I'm thinking that might be really good for Mother's Day, because we all want our moms to have these really special cards. Now, I also finished the inside of this card with another element. Instead of just doing something plain and square on the inside, I used another layer of the labels collection. And with the crumb cake ink and another element from the Nature Walk stamp set, I'm just going to add this little bit of flower over here. And add that into the inside of my card. My mom will get a very lovely verse, a little message to Mom in the inside. Isn't that wonderful? Thanks for Thanks for visiting Stampers Clubhouse today. To see more incentives and ideas and inspiration, you can also see videos, more videos on my YouTube site, along with creations that I post on my blog at www.stampersclub.com. You can also order any of these products online at my store through my blog, 24/7 online, or you can email me or phone me. My email is Karen@stampersclub.com. Have a great day. Bye.